Okono oye japade bebree di jane ma enya mampani bia oni na bedi akire omanwe omanfo ho da impo omo ka bibia omanfo adwen ye omo se eye papa no na omo asi akire de ye bone enu nti eye mfie nwotwe a senka ensi oman no ebremu a nenka nukura sebi ye bo ho dero ansana omampani akufo do bedi ade no nenka na di ma Ghana fo hu se sa mfie nwotwe a etwamu na ye wo saifu bi a obese oman Ghana na watete oman na pansam eje ko jai ade bi owura mahama efra bemu ojai nyoma bebrebe aban bie ni wonu a sebi wa inherit enyoma Akufo-Addo aban inherit ye no ebi nsida na Akufo-Addo na bra bomu no utimu se wo yourself ankasa brebia ne papa be di ade e wo Ghana ha okono oye japade bebree di jane ma mu Ringway Hotel ne nyoma bebree ansa na Akufo-Addo obedi mampani no na waton sa japade ni nyina amabusua adaka susu wabono ametu atu emu medamase mu sebi sika opeja no de ko enioma sebi basa enti ye bogana fo kokko e ma ni beda di se enya de asa nipa we betimi adi mampani wo Ghana ha ma oman we atumpon na obeji oman na obese no sanse oye kwaku basahia Sabra ye kanona Ghana for dwen say ebi ye time bi na ye de time no na nkanye bi sebi amayoko NPP ye mayoko sebi from the very beginning of the party now I've been part of it na sebi enkase nsi etianity ankan kan tresa bontin so from efakudi Sabra na ne ye kanona ye kire Ghana for say enya amayoko NPP ne hia me man hu hia me kire amayoko sanse amayoko no ebeto me man and I mean mine sebi eni ho a mayuko ni ho ti ye boss ade ro na Ghana for ye say omo be so ahwe no ebe ye nso hwe na Ghana for nso hwe we nya ade a yaka ade asi ye sinipi broni kasa ye say never again san say NPP be dia konwa na say no musu ban ti a enya ade wo say ye prince ema NPP ba ban mu biem me ye sebi obi a pese metin tesu ato from them me teche mafa enunti makano baabi da na efine kure se uhia me na okase me amayoko NPP ni a eje so pese okase me ekronfo me do be court ai o pese okase me amroba me do be court o pese okase se okase me NPP ni biem e wo wiase a me wo mu biem se me metiasi se metese obi kura akase me NPP ni am den be court o pese okase me armed robber me criminal me embezzler nyoma associated with crimes of humanity nyina no o pese okase me ka ho ntimi de wo be court enti NPP de e wo say tro never again de to so Ghana franca bia etwa gubia no ye bo NPP din a obi ehu say ya de ani kwan say ba fie biem da oso na mu no say be onya aboa papa e de ne ba fie na wasa ba fie abebo dam ti wo hwe nyoma oso no ye ya nyoma tantan a che say eni kwan say nka esie kronobo intentia say na ye see judiciary yetimi kofa obi ma ne betena honom na otimi ka kire wo say o birth certificate kura na nkire say wo ye Ghana ni enso so on birth certificate ne so ne atro o nationality esa wotimi say bibia course bia time the lawlessness of a lawyer say be only certificate nyoma hodo esisi ye obi a wakosuku wo so ye economist wo bomu doctorate PhD o hwe ne economy o jai
okay wrapping it up
Medicine is 8 years of the waste of our time. Is 8 years of idea to say any question say timisi biemu da. It is say can never again now. We refer to the NPP say any question say Ghana ni biama ne ho kwan. ma amayoko NPP ebedi because penny Oman penny Kufuor mfie nwotwe yantene ne da senior Kufuor. I so revere him and wakame. But for the first time publicly, I've had to rebuke and admonish him. Say, any question President Kufuor to be for our fed beam on your foot for. On my way, you my communal President Kufuor to me and one can and check Kufuor do da. But we are assassin and Fabaumi to so. That be Oman penny Kufuor and Yadi. Intino, if you go to your four, yemfa. Ye ba, ye besrano, yako crano. Yene ni bedin komo otu yefo a yemfa because na futu enye na futu papa ye da last
innocent ma be too baba se cry everyday
yeah I mention what you for him I think the last 8 years who reviewer I don't know the right words are with me I used to describe what has happened in this country in the last 8 years and when I call Facebook number say last 8 years has been a classic mixture of horror and tyranny together and a cocktail on myself and whoever what me a survival under Akufo-Addo 8 years we be a deserve certificate of honor as your born about because a Chen university a Chen military training a Chen anything you can think of obi a what me live this 8 years be no ehia da medal enti enya sa medal na or the common Kaswa Van Dam ne or Momo Keka Hono. Ghana for the deserve that particular your friends a medal. And where results now by the outcome of your elections now. And your vindication of earlier position you moving my whole do say. Kwanya Akufo-Addo fasa no bo mine or ye more mindset. Sa style of governance no e belonging to antiquity sa tete enkurase sem breno so benali num preso a we di president wa fa na yere nuam be ma ni nua we no aye ne soja mpanimfo sa enkurase amamuo no atwam. We live in a civilized democratic dispensation where you expect to say ye be mamra aye adwuma ye di nidie e be manipa. We had a president ansana oba be di president no na onam nima e si ma na ema e ka banku ene nkura enum calipo at some point in time obey president no on na years na o instructor him for so sorry nchia no munye hu so no na oba no. This is a president living in a civilized your friends dispensation and ya kasi ye wura economy no ye wura mamuo no ma ye be boso enwieda. Until the outcome no e Ghana for ya get enough of this arrogance of power. Nipa no kura tumi na dwen say oye Nebuchadnezzar so oye Pharaoh okanyansa sem kire na they were not amenable to wisdom, they were not ready to listen to anybody. So it got to a point that it was the whole nation against the NPP and the Akufo-Addo government and anaye preso obia kanyansa sem kire ma enya de so mutie and the economy na namua na ne ye we nie but it's good say Ghana for yetimi agi ye ho afiri this particular hellhole and we are hoping that things will get better because Mahusa Manfo is celebrating and as for Koban and as for but we see so what's now we have very incisive analysis of Ghana's economy, the extent of damage and you overtake your friends a break a crack now home so because enya de ketwa and I yet hono. Could you imagine that the energy sector? The only thing they could say, and say 5 hours gallons of your saying stock of fuel. Akufo-Addo track record at the energy sector, no. Abraham Mahama Ekwana would demonize no insulting no. And if you look at the various funds about the Toho, stabilization fund and other funds, they don't call $250 million. Wait them. Can we speak of the same thing this time around? Your friends a 5 hour stock of gas we no. So a Ghana for say the na cost no be antan obia ayamamu boni na ye koso na nipa ko bi atwen say amamu no ya busia enchemfa enti yaba ye bubu ne to afa akọ maka just at some point in time they were running the country like a village pharmacy wo fa de ewura ma de opa bia na wayi woni beba ahoso na agu. That is exactly what they did. Kenoforiata the omine bobosia nkwase aso saa ene omine no externally, we've defaulted on external debt obligation to external creditors. Domestically, for the first time in so many years, we are not paying the first of my GDP by winning the say. Then the president will have the audacity to come and tell us, "You tighten your belt." Or no, trouser say no whole square name no tighten. Kenoforeta and Co were just going around this country doing all sort of mess. MPP for Kratina said, no, Yanka say a party near Aquana, then or your boy a party, no. They confronted the president and said, no. The president chose in the Wafasia over the entire political party. And then the MPP has become something like Enatitia Pansa Medahono under the Fourth Republic way. Yankoto Abama political party being Jenimguasia MPP that. Answer the Yakoto Abano. I found your mark is on a minority chair on Tenaso. Now you're a majority leader. And then unqualified to even call himself a minority leader. He's just a mini or micro minority leader. Oh, and yes, the open now. Yes, the open now, Benyanka Hanote. And the Okanoka. And the open now, Benyanka Hanote. That is what he is. And the parliament no more. They are going there as an observatory party. MPP is not an opposition party. And the Andra. So Mahama in we are not say I second. Let me say second again. O party you don't have the numbers to second anything. The majority leader na kasa or 2/3 of parliament. He can move whatever motion. We observatory party you are there. Say o court parliament is here. After marking and the cameraman now ultra video. Parliament you know difference be in they are observing the process.
But that's it. Solo.
Obaya Chia.
Matthew so.
Chia my baby.
E mo fa bobia someone want to say.
No we fa.
Kwa ga say me se me ni no beef.
Beef dia could be salary.
Me ni nya beef.
Ya chia we chief for no hefo baby obia. Na ya magana for so official fa. No crow over say 8 years no. Miss feelings.
Miss feelings.
Everyone highs and everyone lows. You know can say you can't convince me say one more never could for the bevel no me for them it was a very good 8 years. A be almost say such much yet. A be eba bemuno na chamber hall crow money and no more skyscrapers ever be a TI this uncle for no Yamia ye be a mom to a kufuado or my we are mine. And into almost are more quite sorry, and I see no money. Now, ye do one Abrabono, and ye nini, ewanasi. And when Tinacha said, ye bay, but you see, your chrome one, Jimmy Coscu, the common mescu na yen chire history, that me bo fupa. The most critical course, and as a subject, also mine, ye chire yen quada near the tree of ya ye G and watching, ya ye G homina. Obia da sorry busa no say eye den na busi aban ye tu no free amemuso ya to aba mabuzi in 1969 as prime minister so tiase na wa busa o say den 1972 ake champion e be tu no free so and wa busa ho say sa time na buzi ay prime minister one na ceremonial president and na one na ye minister of finance or secretary of finance. Sabre na edo de Kufuado papa ana na ye ceremonial president ana Kenoforiata papa a finance secretary and as and now mo be finance minister na ade ba ko Ghana fo gina so epam buzi amemu na ye e ka chichiridie sangofo besiabo Kufuado di na busua ana yamoko pam wo mu firi so ena me ne wo kase Ghana ye ka wahi papa ba ye ne ye de ka 120 billion o si NTP da ena me no kase edu 800 billion
ebro
wo de yem fa the last report of the amai
ebro
na wo busa ho se sika chichiri di ne de aye wo kan ya o mu se ya construct 12,000 kilometers of roads 12,000 kilometers of roads no Accra ko si Shanghai China and it dey Kufuado ni abusuafo ka kire nyina ne se wo motumi aya ekwan a the tintin free nkran ekodu Shanghai China Ghana yetimu ekwan a eso hyepa dipa asendo do faso nipa do yusuo nkran ko si dey
Kumase
le tebia yese
atutu asai
na Kufuado o de bon ho na no kwadi de twa mensuru mu se okosewia etumi commission hospital a enu ba bia chese papa we Oscar minyame no Oscar me sewia for so was coming nyame manisi rage ha me hona me kwa sorry
ah kwa sorry wa
oh me ayi ono national na ade no hold yes ye ngoso mo sorry a na mo tete na hey sofo bie ni wa na woka eho a mo na ya na ba na sofo da bi sofo bia na oka ho a ye decide say national cathedral no there is nothing like go resign there is nothing like oka
wo mo nyina ka
oh yeah memo nwene you see that is why people get away with impunity.
Okay
and 2025 sa yesi amatina we a me na me bomb pa ma o ma bani ma ma wini me na me kanchi ye me na me kan tasabia mo otumi ye bomb pa me ye ka mo ba ma mo nua no mo president e kom na de Ghana for ana obi atena se amanyeko bi atena se ahyehyɛ wo munwuma akoton wo mo kasa akere Ghana for se e kom ye de mo no e gira ABC de so me ku a me ka movement for change your candidate or the great transformation plan the koi ye kire kwan e betumi asi Ghana e koma no ana NPP before the bold solution and the digitalization e koi ana NDC 24-hour economy obo ba 1333 one job 3 shifts ana Ghana for the tase ye ana o mo say ye ne great transformation plan de o mani nye ho bold solution o mani nye ho na mo pede 24-hour economy ya to about on by anyway. That's a woman na bomb by a common near Yebumfu ana. That cannot be the case. And it won't travel be minimum.
Okay.
Ghana for to Obama who run as all my mess of your problems. Now, Andrew award a memendano. And a brother, you know.
Yeah.
What was a all born your man also big now so didn't basis, you know. A bien boy, yeah. Ghana for the ball museum. To say fight on corruption.
Yeah.
The whole Independence Square no eji boom e kire owura mama say Ghana for do na fi say ye sike bia ko di nkofo ejinya nena ye ba betra all of a sudden obi anim say ajibi o te so mo no money
or directed traffic.
Now, when young gophobia, just some 2 months here, able to job day, and then a woman is 6 months, 1 year. Ghana have chrono, a visual and listening. Make no mistake.
Okay, wrap it up, man.
I don't think some of us will play that watchdog role.
Okay.
It's as a young year. Andrew Chimeto was a video. Time I dear Kufa so. Nasa Ghana fool, we are so hopeful. No more any jemu pa. Eh ye den ya afide ne ye nyina ye bomb pa so mfiri so.
Okay.
And no trese se ye di penises wa se boni bi ko so ye nkan kire no.
Okay.
Na mo ya na pressing for no mo na mo ma sam penifo di nsemu no.
Medase.
Ya sa na tie.
Medase.
Sa so bebem.
Sazo na bebe yeah Ghana makoso na gusu awutie no brali so well bacho topics me di free soro me di free form na for the new era no aba be wie from there na petition na ye sure de koma former president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo say it was of Pam Chief Justice na anadwo da suo mu ade be che na wale former president no o chiro krata no dismiss petition no Nkofo ka say Professor Azar ebeyank one trofofo. There's a new petition too against Jane Mensah. Can you nyina bomam? In the next 5 minutes.
Em say on my way a papi papa. Na fortunately yenya a hand a experienced hand. And for the first time in the history of Ghana yenyo mampenia wakwa sebi sanko fenti wasa baby na Elioma Akufo-Addo asen wo man mu ha no edoso papa na de ya pa wase no the judiciary sebi ene obia ni opepa mpo se onya asem a ode be kokko esan se Akufo-Addo had destroyed the institution that makes our democracy, the beacon of hope. a ebema obi kura timi ahwe so se mamfa mobra se wo hwe ekwan ya Akufo-Addo an appointments then call for call Supreme Court then call for call High Court then call for call Appeals Court then call for call Circuit Court even Magistrate Courts and the partisan politics are or the institution, you know, play to the extent say asem timi ba wo memu ya nke bia sebi Kenya dia wo senka ekoba se Supreme Court de ne hu be fare mu na because Akufo-Addo ono oni certificate na so ye lawyer ni na afei omo akosuku abo bill class certificate no ono na otifie di remote control air control madwen na enya dia impo enkabi a obetimi aye se mamemfa hinta na emane mma bedwam oye with impunity na esan say nipa bi nso so a sebi omo maame no atu omo suku fees aguo suku a wokọ ya kire wade obeye lawyer ni sebi nimdie a wokọ ya unya ya Akufo-Addo wantena classroom ankosua law yeso odidi obi achi sani pa kokra so France wa bon kra chen obi a no odidi na chi saa na odebeye lawyer oba Ghana ha unim say he was sworn into office singularly. He wasn't part of the many that was sworn into the court to the bar. Enti say institution no sene wa say no ene sene ebinum so de omo ankasa ni monyam atwitwi form ya ama the institution a ema ye democracy ni ye krabehwe no aye tantan tan a efreni ye boaso yes I make us a justice. I'm intimate because I don't. You see, every word has a meaning. He is an injustice person. So much of injustice, and so you cannot call him justice when he is injustice. Now, yakoto aba yakoto no. Obiya nim say they are answerable to the people of this country. Aye Mensa. Yeah. Mensa kuntebu a wadi babe tu bedwemu no. Yenyina ye ko school ni say 100% untimi fa bibia mroso na te se akwaya de a sabi o pese o che se esini nyame nyansa enti se ye yem kontabuo na se bro 100% na che se overvote ya na se over calculation abem je mensa timi ko ye calculation ma aba ye to ye no e bro 100% okay can o percentage of the obi anya eboma na bro na 112% afi ye kan no akote so aba 109 ni akana fi inya 8 different results from one returning officer. And ye dey asem be down court. Do mahama asem odi court no chachu onimnyansa chen judge fo na omuti wonyina nim wonimdie chen wo munyina sanse wo munyina krampo no o mafa ne nsem wontitie mu including ani yebo a na omotimi aba be di asem se nipa na ono no enye se bi oni Charles Mensa e bi omo namu asem na yebusa wo enye omo bedroom say Mensa wo wake dodo ye sen na yebusa wo ade ani yebusa Mensa ni say enkuntebu a wo di betu udwa no eni aba na ye to ye ni bo ebra enti bra na be kire mu eni ye bo ase Mensa wo de ne ho enu nti no ontimi ntiatia ne fa ahudie so e ma ni ma magina bedwam e me kire de abato ne koe me di ruling ni ko to me platform bi so. Thank God and thank my sister, my late sister, Georgette de Jaba. May I pay homage to her because in fear me no echi museya na obe wuto me so organa. Yango ponfa the crazy. Otiko Jaba nu apemi no. Na for the matter platform bi a judge for kuku dam omo UK any US and e bi wo Europe. Omo platform so. To me peja judgment na be koto so. The first comment after about 2 hours, everybody say, this is nauseating. Judge knew, this is nauseating. Say, Obi a public servant, on you answerable to the people of this country, or no, what managing your elections are. Then what else? Because who judge in the crowd, what you want, you answerable to us. And President Kufuor any sa ono ne cronies no sebio omoye ni bootlickers no oma destroy the judiciary. And I think say the earlier John Mahama begins his reset at the judiciary, the better for this country. Because unim Kufuor unim say oye bone eti o my Ghana. Unim say omo bokro no, unim say omo wia yen. And what he did was to make sure say he would build a syndicate of criminals. We have criminals at the judiciary, criminals, broad daylight armed robbers. Some of them have stolen state lands. Some of them, they have embezzled funds. And now judiciary, why at time? Obabi I'll make reference to Obano. Ope HR Nedi. How the judicial, your friend is saying, service no. Or might destroy no and then says I tantan there. Justice is be or they say apart from say Kufuor da more call say munye say no or muni nyansa ni nimdie wo mutrim. Etiabu be here and your friend is saying Chief Justice Nko ana I was say yina die. Omomra from judge ya na say ya also a reverend ya Gary ni makonom e call the hokoje judgment no e was say sankofo ni nyina ye yi omo free judiciary nim. They are a mess to this society because intentionally say when tie ma no asem so shefa ye mua na watimi ahwe so shefa so abua onye judge ni otie Kufuor ano Kufuor so wan call law school Sebastian read bibia Kufuor patrol to nanim obeka ne kama onti ase onti de o kan ase eti nkofo na church on the judgment na the friend is saying the statements or the court man no akọ kan we na aboye sema ma no sebrofo won kan obeka mi sisi ai opa man akimi this book obeka ni in an hour but onti ase eti no the reset must start with the judiciary. In fact, I had said they should start with the security with IGP Dampare. But I think so more chance here free one so emwa. It is John Mahama onye combination of the factors. Now onye reset no baby start baby.
Okay.
Because anya sa GDA ye wo ye democracy ni mo no ato apepa.
Sure.
Kane no obi nya asem na oso okokota na owo Vim say or kwa konya atemu say nya atemu ye to ana Ghana fo nso ye ni kapre John Mahama ben yo ba ye say bi oni kapre o de koma judge bia ajudge fo ni nyina kronfo nko judge otimi trans ka say o birth certificate crampo your friend is saying interest on your Ghana ni we your judge enka we kra no sabi me de ne kwotutu obi hu ba hwe omo so ne mbeko one judge. It's your best friend. Mami tokonu ni nua your friend is say na ni kunu wa aban we mu. Aban ya Yakopon adom. Emizemfu aban ya omokoyi. Aye hu omo bie mu. Na ni kunu wo mu. Enti wo de wa imagine say obi a ni kunu wa aban mu. De na obeye. Enti mesre John Mahama so pena sumdue no promise Ghana year. Onye the needful. All right. Ebi ho no mo a se ne omudi intentia ye no. Ye ma omu hu se ne intentia te.
Omu a taste of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Ebe boa magana mpuntuo no. Se bi ebe koso a tit for tat and a tooth for tooth and eye for an eye no. Mo se mra no. Eboa ye o.
Mate.
Ebe timi ama se bi obi abehu ni smoothness level no wanya at least a taste se ne wo kan no of how power is like.
Okay. The
mensa there on one by now was inquiry resign. Now,
it's finished.